Somebody bring last thing. What kind of car is this? Anybody lost their keys? They're right here, inshallah. Anybody lost their keys? السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا أرحم الراحمين. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, teach us what benefit us from what He taught us, and increase us in knowledge. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah ta'ala, as usual, every Thursday, we discuss a story from the Quran. We learn the meaning of it, and we try to implement the dars, the moral of the story. And keep in mind, these are not bestsellers. These are stories have been chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So are the best, ahsan al-qasas. And today's story is very unique and has many lessons in it, inshaAllah ta'ala. Okay. The story of Qarun. The story of Qarun. Which surah is the story of Qarun mentioned? Story of Qarun. It's called the story. So in the surah of stories, Al-Qasas. Surah Al-Qasas. MashaAllah, Mu'adh. Come tomorrow and watch Mu'adh in action, inshallah. We have a beautiful night planned tomorrow. We have Brother Ikram al-Haq, may Allah reward him, and Brother Jum'ah. They're going to be the judges. We have competition. A lot of beautiful stuff tomorrow. Please come and bring your children. And then on Sunday, inshallah, we will have the open house for the full-time Hafiz school, inshallah. So the story of Qarun is mentioned in Surah Al-Qasas. Before I start, I just want to keep something in your back of your mind. Keep the statement in the back of your mind. There's a big difference between a rich man and a rich mu'min. There's a big difference between a rich person, any person, and a rich believer. We will come back to that, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن قارون كان من قوم موسى فبغى عليهم وآتيناه من الكنوز ما إن مفاتحه لتنوء بالعصبة أولي القوة إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. Today I'm going to do the story in a different way. I want, inshaAllah ta'ala, for all of us to start reading the Quran in a different manner. Reading the Quran in a way that is different than we used to read it before. Because the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrate the stories, every single word has a meaning and has a reason why it's there. So let's go word by word or part by part. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, إِنَّ قَارُونَ كَانَ مِنْ قَوْمِ مُوسَى فَبَغَى عَلَيْهِمْ. Let's start with إِنَّ قَارُونَ. Anything different here? Because keep in mind, I want to make it an interactive. And what lessons can we learn from every ayah? Okay. What else? Okay. Usually in the stories of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not specify the names of the people in the story, right? Ashab al-Kahf, Ashab al-Sabt, Ashab al-Jannah. We don't know the story. We don't know the names of the people. We don't know the location. We don't know anything. if there is any importance in it, Allah would have mentioned it, صح? Because a lot of people, they go through so much studies and where was the cave and how many people in the cave and what was the dog's nature and all that stuff. If there is any importance, it will benefit me in my life, Allah would have mentioned it. So here, Allah mentioned the name. This is unique, right? Usually, Allah does not mention the name. He tells us there were some people who went to the cave. There are some people who had a garden. There were two men who had a garden. We know all the stories. Here, the name is mentioned. Inna Qarun. Inna Qarun. So the name of the person we will be discussing is Qarun. Kana min qawmi Musa. He was from the people of Musa. So he was living at Musa's time, Musa alayhi salam's time. Anything here? I want you to just start interacting with the Quran different. Inna Qaruna min qawmi Musa. He's from Bani Israel, absolutely, but what's the lesson here? It's coming up. He has? We're coming to that. Now, it's telling us that even though he was, because Ibn Abbas radiallahu anh, he said that he was the cousin of Musa. He was Musa alayhi salam's cousin. So even though he was Musa alayhi salam's cousin, that did not help him. That's the lesson. If one member of the family is very righteous and the other are not following the deen, that does not mean anything. You cannot say, oh, because maybe my brother is good or my father is good, I don't have to do anything. If you were good, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make you follow your parents and your good members of the family. But do not let that be a reason for you not to do anything. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَلَا أَنْسَابَ بَيْنَهُمْ. On the day of judgment, when the horn is blown, there's no ansab. You cannot say, oh, please, this is my cousin, this is my brother. No ansab. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, if Fatima radiyallahu anha wa ardaha, if she stole, I will cut her hand. And this is Fatima radiyallahu anha wa ardaha. So this, my cousin, my friend, just like the Duniya connections, does not work in the day of judgment. So even though he was the cousin of Musa, that does not help. Everyone, كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة. Everybody is responsible for his own and her own deeds. فبغى عليهم. بغى, what does بغى mean? He behaved arrogantly. What is the lesson here? بغى عليهم did not specify in what he did do, the bagha, the arrogance. That means he was arrogant in everything. فَبَغَى عَلَيْهِمْ. So he was arrogant in everything. So we have a Qarun, he's the cousin of Musa alayhi salam, and he was living at that time, and it was said that he was very poor and very righteous. He was from the followers of Musa, and then all of a sudden he became very rich and he became completely opposite than the way he was before. وَآتَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْكُنُوزِ. وَآتَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْكُنُوزِ. Any lesson here? Did you have dinner? I don't have dinner. آتَيْنَاهُ, what does that mean? Very important lesson. Allah gave him. It's not, because we're going to see later, he said that everything I have is from my indi, from my work, from my arajbini, from my sweat. No. Allah said, وَآتَيْنَاهُ. We gave him. مِنَ الْكُنُوزِ. There's a lesson also here. From the treasures. يعني, what Qarun has compared to my treasures, to Allah's treasures, is nothing. This is min al-ba'diyya. This is some of the kunuz, part of the kunuz that we have. We just gave him a little bit. وآتيناه من الكنوز ما إن مفاتحه لتنوء بالعصبة أولي القوة. Subhanallah. Let me just show you the translation. And we gave him the treasures, that of which the keys would have been a burden to a body of strong men. First of all, a lot of people think that the plural of muftah is mafatih. The plural of muftah is mafatih, without the ya. Right? So he had so much treasure that the keys, not the treasure itself, the keys for the treasure, it needs a usba. It needs a usba. Usba, some ulama, if you go translate and look for the meaning, usba either could mean 0 to 1 to 9, over 1 up to 9 people, or some ulama said 40 people, usba. But probably we're going to go with the 9 because of the surah of Yusuf, وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ, and they were in that range. Okay? So the keys only need 9 people or more just to carry the keys of the treasures. Just to carry the keys. And not any men. Uli al-quwwa. Men that are very strong and powerful. It needs over 9 men that are very strong to be able to carry the keys of the treasures. That means this man was extremely, extremely rich. He had so much money and wealth and treasures. إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح. إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح. Now, always there are some good people and evil people. Now here, the good people are giving him an advice, which shows that this man did so much bagha, so much arrogance and transgression in his community. So he told him, the good people told him, لا تفرح. Usually تفرح, farah, is good, right? Farah is the same in Urdu. Happiness, no? Same? Okay. So لا تفرح, they said, don't be happy. إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. If you take it linguistically, does not make sense. Allah does not like the happy people. No. What does tafrah here mean? Yeah. Do not be arrogant. You know, when somebody is happy with what he has, and somebody is happy only to show off of what he has. So the good people are telling him, لا تفرح. إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not, they translated it as the ungrateful ones to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do we know that here the farihin means they are not good? Why don't we translate it as the good people? We will find out because the Quran explains itself by itself. We will find out from the next ayah that the farihin here is not something good. And especially when you know that there is the word before it, Allah la yuhib. Instantly you have to know that it's not good. Because Allah does not love, that means whatever that thing after that is not good. طيب, what happened? Now the good people are still advising. وَابْتَغِ فِي مَا آتَاكَ اللَّهُ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا وأحسن كما أحسن الله إليك ولا تبغ الفساد في الأرض إن الله لا يحب المفسدين وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة. Listen carefully. And seek with whatever Allah has given you, have blessed you with, seek with it the akhirah. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. This is probably the most important lesson in the story. Whatever Allah blessed you with, health, wealth, children, money, businesses, whatever Allah blessed you with, use it for the akhirah. وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة. Are we implementing that in our life? Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me, am I using it for the akhirah? Am I using it for my akhirah? Is everything I plan or I think about or about to go into, whether it's a business or anything, is it according, or will that help me in the akhirah? Anything, ya akhwan, anything. The major that my son is doing at college, will that help me and help him in the akhirah? Whatever it is, the wedding I'm about to do for my daughter, will that help me in the akhirah? The business, the job, whatever it is. At the same time, لا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا. Don't forget your share of dunya. Now here, this is one of the most misunderstood ayat in the Quran. Every time you see somebody committing haram, they're doing something haram or they're going to haram places, brother, لا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا. Brother, don't forget your share of dunya. That does not mean you go to the haram. No. لا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا has 3 different interpretations and they're all possible. First, it means that the dunya is مزرعة الآخرة. The dunya is the farm, is where you plant for the akhirah. That means use this dunya, don't forget your nasib of the akhirah in this dunya. So use this dunya for the akhirah. Second, some ulama said, don't forget, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيا. It means the kafan. It means the shroud. As if they're saying, don't forget that all you're going to take away with you from the dunya is that kafan. Don't forget that. No matter how much you are involved in this dunya, all you're going to take with you at the end is that kafan. That's the second meaning. The third meaning, it means that there is nothing wrong with halal entertainment. لا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا. Allah does not tell me and you to stay all day long in the masajid, or all day long reading Quran, or all day long fasting, and all night qiyam. No. Moderation, our deen. You do what you're supposed to do. You do some extra nawafil, alhamdulillah, but do not forget your share of, because if you are constant, Rasulullah ﷺ used to skip some days of nasiha. Why? Because people get, too much information, too much every single day. People cannot handle it. So he used to give them a break. Similarly, when we deal with our children, haram, 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 haram. Baba, what's the alternative? Haram, 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 haram. What's the alternative? No alternative. That's not good. If there is nothing wrong with the halal entertainment they're doing, whether it's basketball, soccer, anything, they're playing around with their friends, watching their language, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, you should recommend that every once in a while, very often as a matter of fact, so the kids can feel that, what is this? Already they're feeling so much pressure from this deen, and they feel that the deen is giving them so many restrictions. So when there's no exit or time to breathe, they're going to start really, when they get to college and get to be on their own, then they're going to feel the difference and they're going to say, you know what, this is too much. But when I give them, nasib min ad-dunya, a little bit of here, a little bit of there, subhanallah, they always look forward for both. Look forward for both. وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. This is subhanallah. Anytime, this should be the only statement in any fundraising. Wallahi. أحسن كما أحسن الله إليك. Ahsin, we all know from Hasan, be good. Just like Allah has been good to you. Just like Allah has given you all that you have, when somebody asks you for the sake of Allah, don't hold back. Ahsin. Be kind, be gentle, be generous. Just like Allah has been good to you, be good to others. Rasulullah ﷺ told us that the most beloved amal, can you imagine? The most beloved amal to Allah is not to go to Hajj every year. The most beloved amal to Allah is to put a smile and surur on your brother's face, that he was in need, or to cover his debt, or to feed him. That's the most beloved amal to Allah. Allahu Akbar. Ahsin kama ahsan Allahu ilayk. And the more ihsan that you do, the more ihsan you will see in your family. Wallahi ya akhwan, hal jaza'u al-ihsan illa al-ihsan. And don't worry about your rizq. We all think 100 times and we worry about the rizq so much. And we get scared. The rizq is guaranteed. Your rizq, my rizq is guaranteed. No one on earth will take a penny from it, and no one on earth can add a penny to it. I'll tell you the story. There was a man named Hatim al-Asam. Hatim al-Asam was a very righteous man, but at the same time he was poor. He has kids, his wife, and he decided to go to Hajj. According to his finances, Hajj, he's not eligible for Hajj. So he made mashura with his family. He said, listen, if I go to Hajj, the supplies I can leave behind will be enough for 3 days only. So the family said, no, you can't go and leave us. His daughter said, Dad, my father, go. Go and make dua for us in this great journey, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of us. The man followed the caravan, said goodbye to his family, and went to Hajj. He cannot go with the caravan, it's very costly, so he's behind them. Whatever they drop, food, leftovers, he manages. The leader of the caravan got bit by a snake. So he asked, anybody knows how to make ruqya? The only one was Hatim. So Hatim said yes. So bi'idhnillah, Hatim did the ruqya, and the man was cured. The man was so happy that he told him, Ya Hatim, your trip going and your trip coming back is on us. So already, Allahu Akbar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of Hatim. Back home, after 3 days, the family is crying, and this daughter who told her son, or told her father to go, was smiling. How come you smiling? And we are almost done with our food. She said, I never knew that. Is my father the Razzaq or he receives rizq? They told him, no, he receives rizq. He said, Alhamdulillah, the one who receives rizq is not here, but the Razzaq is hayy. لا يموت. She finished her statement, the door knocked. She opened the door, she saw a soldier at the door. She said, yes. He said, the king and his caravan are passing by and we are out of water and the king is very thirsty. Do you have any water, please? She said, yes, absolutely. This is all we have. She brought the whole jug of water and gave it to him. The king drank the water. He was so happy. You know, after you've been very thirsty, you drink. He said, in the past, they used to, around their waist, on their belt, they carry a surra, yani a small package of, and they put all the gold coins in it. If you ever see it in the past in those Western movies. So they have the surra. So the king said, he took the surra of gold and he threw it. And he said, this is for you and your family. And he looked at all the soldiers. Whoever loves me will do the same. Everybody, so they say that the house, there was like a big pile of gold. Now the family is all smiling and the girl is crying. They told her, why are you crying? She said, a human being looked at us with rahmah and you were happy. And when I told you the Rahman is going to take care of us, you were upset. A human being looked at us with rahmah and you were happy. Arham al-Rahimeen, he promised that he's going to take care of everything and you were not sure. So ya akhwan, the issue of rizq, you will not die. You will not die till you get the last penny. So don't ever seek the rizq through haram means. Why am I bringing this? Because the ayah after that, وَلَا تَبْغِ الْفَسَادَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. They are telling him, do not do corruption on earth. And most corruption on earth is done with money. People go corrupt, they get corrupt. They start seeking haram sources to get their luxuries, not even their needs. ولا تبغي الفساد في الأرض إن الله لا يحب المفسدين. Allah does not like the ones who cause corruption on earth. Now here we know why for the farihin was not good, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he called them farihin and called that the same farihin are mufsidin. They are the ones who cause corruption. So now to summarize, because it looks like we're going to take another week with this, and next Thursday I won't be here, I will be in New York inshallah, so I will see you the week after. Qarun was the cousin of Musa alayhi salam. He was at the time of Musa. He had so much wealth that needs more than 10 people or more than 9 people to carry only the keys of his treasures, and he used to cause fasad in the ard, and people advised him, ابتغي فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة. Seek with what Allah has given you, the akhirah, and don't forget your share of the dunya, the halal share of the dunya. And this is our lesson for this week, inshallah. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept us alive, we will continue with the story the week after. Please try to show up tomorrow for Fajr. Fajr is at 6 o'clock, and Salat al-Fajr fi Jama'ah is extremely rewarding. Please come and pray this great ibadah, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you the whole day. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.